Imagine you're walking through a huge gateway made of red sandstone. The sun shines down as you step inside, and you hear the sound of marching footsteps and royal music playing. You're not in a regular park or playground. You're in the Red Fort, one of the most famous places in India. Long ago, kings and emperors walked the same paths, rode on elephants, and held grand celebrations inside these mighty walls. The Red Fort, or Lal Qila in Hindi, is located in Delhi, the capital of India. It was built nearly 400 years ago in 1648 during the time of a great ruler named Emperor Shah Jahan. He was one of the most famous emperors of the Mughal Empire, the powerful kingdom that ruled over much of India for centuries. Shah Jahan is also well known for building the beautiful Taj Mahal. When he decided to move his capital from Agra to a new city called Shah Jahanabad, he needed a place to rule from. That's where the Red Fort comes in. The Red Fort is called red because of the red sandstone used in its walls. These giant walls are about 75 feet high in some places, and they stretch over 2 kilometers. They were built not just to look grand, but also to protect the people and the emperor inside. Inside the fortress are beautiful buildings, gardens, palaces, and halls where the emperor would meet with guests, talk to the public, and even hold meetings with his advisors. One of the most famous parts of the Red Fort is the Diwan-e-Am, or Hall of Public Audience. Here Shah Jahan would sit on his royal throne and listen to the people's problems or requests. The throne was once a part of the Peacock Throne, a famous seat covered in gold and jewels. It was placed in a beautiful open hall with arches and columns where the emperor's subjects could come and speak to him. Another important spot is the Diwan-e-Khas, or Hall of Private Audience. This was a more private space where the emperor met with very important people. The Red Fort was not just all business, though. It also included gardens, fountains, and private homes for the royal family. One of the most beautiful spots is the Rang Mahal, or Palace of Colors, which had bright decorations and flowing water channels to keep it cool. Imagine sitting there under the stars on a warm summer night while music plays and the air smells like flowers from the royal garden. Although the Red Fort was originally built during Shah Jahan's time, it has seen many changes over the years. When other rulers and even British officials controlled India later, they made changes or used the fort differently. Some parts of the fort were damaged during wars. Despite all that, the Red Fort remained a symbol of power and pride. One of the most special things about the Red Fort today is what happens there every year on August 15th, India's Independence Day. On this day in 1947, India became free from British rule. To celebrate, the Prime Minister of India stands on top of the Red Fort and gives a speech to the whole country, just like a king might have spoken from there hundreds of years ago. Indian flags fly high, and people all over the country watch as the Red Fort becomes the center of attention once again. The Red Fort is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This means it's recognized as one of the most important places in the world that should be protected. Many people from all over India and other countries come to see its beauty and learn about its past. Guides tell stories, children take school trips, and families walk through the ancient halls, learning about the emperors and people who once lived there. There's even a small museum inside the Red Fort that shows artifacts like old clothes, weapons, tools, and paintings that help us understand life from those days. Archaeologists and historians work hard to keep the information correct and the buildings safe for the future. As you walk through the fort, it's easy to imagine what life was like centuries ago. Elephants in the courtyard, royal guards standing tall, and the emperor watching over his city. A Persian poem is even written on one of the walls of the Diwan-e-Khas that says, "If there is a paradise on earth, it is this, it is this, it is this." The Red Fort is more than just a building. It stands for the past, present, and future of India. It reminds us of the greatness that has lived within the country's history and the strength of the people who call it home today. Visiting the Red Fort is like stepping into a history book you can walk through. It teaches us to care for our heritage, understand our past, and dream big for the future. So if you ever visit the Red Fort, remember that it's not just a place made of red stone. It's a treasure full of stories, dreams, and the spirit of a nation that has stood strong for hundreds of years.